hear me? Does this work?
Here, can I have the water down there?
I realize
I know.
that
Change my
it
mind.
may be a minute or two early. I like to start meetings early. We finish on time. So let's call the meeting of the members of Pinehurst Country Club to order. And I want to start this evening with some introductions. Here we have a picture that you've seen on the website of our Board of Governors for 2014. But as I introduce these people, I would like to ask them to stand. Is Denny McCann with us this evening? I think I got it. There he is. Denny, please stay standing. Sorry, Denny. I don't think Duff Meyer was going to be able to make it this evening, but Duff, are you here? Okay. Then we have Mary Pappas, our Vice President. Jake Carruthers. Stephanie Stokes. Stephanie?
Next class.
We have Gary Stroh. Nancy Highland. And Jim Kazmary. And then another very important person on our Board of Governors is our treasurer, has been our treasurer for 7 or 8 years, Ed Renner. Ed, please stand. That's your 2014 Board of Governors. We had a very unfortunate thing happen with our Board of Governors this year. A 5-year member of the board, Dick Bigger, passed. And if you would with me, let's just take a moment of silence in recognition of Dick's service to this club. Thank you. Something that is a little bit unusual from what we've done typically is I would like to have the past chairs of the Board of Governors please stand. Past chairs, please stand. There they are out there. And now with those people, I'd like to have anyone that has served as a governor in the past, would you please stand? If you have served as a governor. Come on, Bart, you've served as a governor. Anybody that served as a governor? Okay, thank you for your service in the past, but one of the points I wanted to make is that the building of a club is directly the result of people wanting to give of their time and effort to make the club a better place. And so as we go forward, we need you to either step up and be part of leading the club or to encourage other people to do that. The next thing we'd like to do is we'd like to announce the 2015 Board of Governors. And I guess I'm a little bit ahead of myself, but before I do that, to replace Dick Bigger's term on the Board of Governors, the board selected Stephanie Stokes. Stephanie, would you please stand again? And Stephanie comes to us as part of Pinehurst number 9. And so we're looking very much forward to all of the information and opportunities that she can bring us, as well as what we can share with our activities and things here that we've had over these many years. Stephanie, welcome to the board. In terms of our outgoing governors, we have 2 of those governors, one with us this evening, and Dennis McCann, who we introduced earlier, Dennis chose to have a contribution made in his name to the Meals on Wheels of Southern Pines. And Duff chose to have his contribution made in his name to the Folds of Honor. The Folds of Honor was something that many of us supported on a recent charity day in our organizations within the club. The 2015 elected Board of Governors for the class of 2017 are Vicki Hancock. Vicki, would you please stand?
Please stand. Yay, Vicky.
I was reelected, and then we have Howard Schwartz. Howard, joining the board.
Let's give Merle a hand because he also won.
Please stand.
Okay, with that, then I'd like to call on Mary to Mary Pappas. That's it. Oh, okay. Excuse me. Already out of order. Let me share something with the group. I get back to town this evening at about 5 minutes before the meeting. So things have moved around a little bit, and they're in a little better order than I anticipated. But as we look to our officers for the coming year, the board met at 5:30 and selected Merle Lewis as president, Mary Pappas as vice president, Ed Renner as treasurer, and our secretary is to be determined yet, but we'll try and do that in the very near future. With that, then I'd like to call on Mary, our vice president. As president of the board, one of the opportunities that you have is to have someone that is very, very capable working hand in hand with you each step of the way as you go along. And I found this year just to be a great experience, working with Mary and her support every step of the way, and ideas that maybe I could have never ever thought of, she comes up with and shares them, and many of those things work to the benefit of the board. So I very much appreciated that opportunity to have worked with her, and I'd like to have her make a report then on what the committees of the board have been working on this past year.
Well, thank you very much, Merle. I appreciate the accolades, and I have very much enjoyed being the vice president and working with Merle also. The standing committees, of which there are 8, are in alphabetical order, because anybody who knows me knows I only do things in alphabetical order. So the bylaws committee was, the vice president is always on that, and had 3 other governors, Dick Beeger, Jim Kazmarek, and Duff Meyer. We did a couple of things this year, one of which was to make sure that all of the changes to the Golf and House standing committees were making more clarity that they all had the same verbiage, and the responsibility to the PCC membership, and providing, again, that consistency with all the other standing committee descriptions. We did realize that there is going to be a wonderful new pool coming about in 2015, so we had to make a provision to remove an amenities committee from House, which was a subcommittee, and make a new pool committee. So that was with the responsibility for the oversight of both the activities at all the aquatic facilities in the future. Our communications committee is really much larger than what you see here. I apologize, I don't have everybody's name, but there will be that on the presentation on the website. Communications did a lot of things this year also. They had a new format for the memorabilia and the member minute, making it more clear and concise. Much more abbreviated, easier to read member minute, and not so many e-blasts that went out as before. But they did schedule e-blasts that were of importance to members that might have not been seen during the member minute or the memorabilia. The focus was really on the website and the calendar and the member-related articles. The People of Pinehurst segment gave you the opportunity to maybe meet some people that you would not know in your day-to-day activities. There was a rotation of article members, articles, supposed to have a comma there, member activities and events, and provided photos and results on the website, of course, all of the golf, which most of you are most interested in, but also our other recreational activities. The golf committee is also a large committee because all of the organized golf groups are a part of it, and also members at large. They provided good teamwork regarding the oversight of the course care and post-opens restoration, which was important to all of us. They developed a local rule regarding stones and bunkers, which I think all of us had at our previous clubs, increased opportunities for individual play, and increased youth opportunities through the PGA Junior League and the Tar Heel Youth Golf Association. The House Committee is another large committee, not all pictured here. They increased family events, something that we did not have as much in the past, and of course with the beautiful new clubhouse made it much, much easier to do. They greater menu diversity, provided oversight, as with everything else, of the post-open clubhouse restorations, introduced a friendship table for larger events, and hopefully a lot of the new members, because we have gotten so many new members this year, have taken advantage of that if they're just a twosome and want to meet other people. They improved the recognition of members in the restaurants, and hopefully all of our staff knows you by name, or will soon. Long-range planning is a committee also that the vice president has to take on, and really receives quarterly input from all of the standing committees, where you should contact them on things that perhaps you hope happens to the club in the future. No guarantees that it happens, but at least it gets onto the long-range planning, and then with management is discussed. The organized committee and member ideas, as I mentioned, go into these planning action items. In Capital, we did a lot of improvements. The website, which I don't know about all of you, but I think is absolutely fantastic. The tennis, croquet, and pickleball facilities have been improved. The Lake Pinehurst amenities had some upgrades. And our the AV equipment is still ongoing in upgrades, but so far we have a built-in sound system. The programming of the long-range plan, our members asked for enhanced communication, and that was a big focus this year with our communication committee. The addition of yellow tees on a number of our golf courses. There were a number of 9-hole golf groups also, and increased utilization of PCC member facilities. Membership is a very important committee, as are all the committees. They take things on, not always with the result that you are expecting, but they take on anything that the membership really wants to bring forward. And they look at them and they form subcommittees. And one of the things they did this year was that they developed a report and recommendation on an idea from the membership, which was a single membership proposal. They also reviewed proposals for the military, rental, and national membership categories. They provided presentations at all new member orientations, and this is an amazing job because it happens on a continuous basis. Through September, they also personally contacted 140 new members, and they created a Member Golf Association brochure so that when someone joins the club, they'll know all of the things that they can possibly do. They work closely with the membership office on membership issues and concerns. Pool, we had that wonderful pool reveal party, which is what you see here. And really all that was done was that a committee was formed with the anticipation of the 2015 complex. The construction began, and I'm sure all of you have seen the fence and all of the dirt digging that's going on. TLCP, that's a word. That is a huge acronym that is just too much to even talk about. But they provided insight also to the post-opens. The restoration of the tennis and the croquet facilities was very important. The pickleball facilities has become a wonderful addition to our recreation. They increased the programming and opportunities for each sport and for new participants to try those sports. And they have special sport-related events. Now that's really the end of the standing committees, and something that the board had thought about, that perhaps there should be some recognition for those members that have really been members a long time. And I believe there was a flyer out on one of the tables, but what it's going to be is that any member who has 25-plus years as a Pinehurst member, there will be a special event on March the 4th, and the reservations can be made through the reservation member services in the lobby. And with that, I will turn it back to Merle.
Thank you, Mary, and members of the club. Thanks to the membership committee for putting together the first of what we hope to be many recognition events for members who have been with us for many, many years. At this point in time, I'd like to share with you a Board of Governors perspective on Pinehurst Country Club. And I'd like to do that in three categories. I'd like to talk about facilities, I'd like to talk about programming, and then I want to end with personnel. If you look back from the period of time of 2011 to 2014, just the last 3 years, think about the clubhouse. How before, well, everybody knew it was Pinehurst Members Club, but it has now changed. It is Pinehurst Country Club as we have people greet us at the front of the club. Who remembers the green awning? And the abundance that we had of that. And if we compare that to Pinehurst Country Club that we look at from course 2 today. If we look at the old veranda view, how the green awning cut down the view of the most important thing we have in terms of the finishing hole at 18. And then if we look at some of the new view, and you can see how that was opened up on the veranda. If we look at another view from the same veranda, there's our blessed veranda or foyer area.
Still,
And
copper still.
you know, it just kind of doesn't present itself in the same manner that we present ourselves today, that people come in the front door, and this is the view they have coming into the foyer. Again, a second view. And then, again, I guess, looking at the prior view of the veranda there, or the foyer. The new lobby area, you notice the first change you saw is the colors and how much brighter it is and the openness. The entrance that we come up the staircase before was right just in the middle. And then if we compare that to the grandness of the new staircase as we enter up and then go to each side. In addition, was the elevator. The old elevator was nothing more than essentially a dumb waiter. And so this has been very helpful to a number of our members. The old golf shop, and this year that old golf shop was remodeled. And as we look at that, notice again the openness, the larger footprint for the shop, and the entrance. We have a separate entrance which has a store window of displays that can be made, and along with that is the new counter where we can have 8 different people registering or buying different things. They can be attended to all at the same time, where we were challenged in the old shop to be taking care of 3 customers really at one point in time. Let's look a little bit at facilities in terms of the restoration of course 2. Before the restoration, you notice it with wall-to-wall green out there, very expensive, so on and so forth. And regardless of what many of you may think, probably a lot more challenging course today with the bringing back of a lot of the native areas that Donald Ross had in his design. Again, a picture of before and after. Moving on, courses 1, 2, 3, and 8. 4 of our courses have new greens since 2011. But more importantly, they're the greens that can really work for us in this warm weather that we have from time to time. And not too many of you have to think back very far to remember coming on course 3 after the U.S. kids have been here. And how that golf course with its old grass could not handle very much play during those times of year. And yet today, it can be in pristine condition right after a major event such as that. So 4 new courses out of our 9 courses. We've added new bathrooms on the golf courses. I think that 3 or 4 of these bathrooms have been added over that period of time. The old scoreboard came down before it fell down. And now we have a new scoreboard, and the presentation that it does make consistent with the other architectural design of the facilities. The old starter shack, of course, too. And you get a look at where that was, but that was kind of a central point of focus in looking out from the veranda. But as we look out today, we have a new replica of the old course at St. Andrews starting shack. And notice the view that we have, and we see golf course rather than the starting shack and presentation that it may have took away from. We've added Thistle Dew over that period of time, a challenging putting course. And prior to that point in time, unless you wanted to pay the full rate, the availability on 8 wasn't there, but that's been made available to members over that period of time. And we've had the addition of number 9 to the 8 courses that are available to the members. And along with number 9 comes a great clubhouse. And we've also added, during that period of time, member bag drop services. This is the only service that I'm aware of that has probably had 5 or 6 different locations. But all of that was in anticipation for what gets done with the
It's not
pool
done yet
complex and the development of a rather permanent location. But the group has been trying very hard and been giving very good service to the members with this drop services. In terms of facilities, thinking about the tennis, lawn sports, croquet, and pickleball, we've had new pickleball courts. They didn't exist at all prior to that time. We've rebuilt the tennis courts and resurfaced the croquet courts. Many of you have been out there, part of the pickleball, recognize the sign that they put up, but that's the home, number 6, of Pinehurst Pickleball. You see there are some folks out there enjoying the sport, a sport that's been rapidly growing. Tennis courts have been rebuilt after the Open, and we have some very, very fine facilities there with that reconstruction. And many of there are 2 of the 2 main courts for croquet have been resurfaced, but with the same grass that's on course number 2. And so consequently, along with that, there was laser leveling and some other improvements that were made. And so the croquet folks have a very first-class facility. That same sort of approach will be taken to the lawn bowl facilities this next spring, but we just ran out of warm weather to be able to do it yet this year. In terms of swimming facilities, we had the addition of paddleboard has become quite a sport out on the lake, and we've added a storage area for those things. There's also new space for additional kayaks, canoes, and many of the playground equipment has been replaced out there along with new umbrellas. Taking a look, here was some of the things that was put out there this year for the kids. We called it the lily pad, the umbrellas on the beach, and then in terms of the aquatic area, everybody is very excited about the new pool complex. Jay Biggs will speak to this in just a moment or two with more information on that. Many of you recall about 2.5 months ago, our pool reveal party. And I think everybody had a great time, and I think this is just a forerunner of events and things to come when the facilities are in operation next summer. If we think in terms of right off the 91st hole and the putting greens, our new practice facilities in that whole area. A part of course number 1, 18th green, was taken into the practice facilities, and then a new hole was added to that course. And so consequently now, we have several acres just of practice facilities for golf. And as we look out from the club, we can see those facilities. A fitness center was added, and along with the fitness center, you got to have some reason you're going to go over there, and we've added more bars and restaurants. And so as you look at those bars and restaurants, how many people remember the old members lounge? Right over here. And with the old members lounge, a little bit congested, rather dark. And as we look then today into the new members bar, Payne's Pub, and as we look at the pub, we also have the ability to have food service in there. And we have a couple of our regulars, Payne's Pub.
You have a problem?
Thanks, Denny and Jay.
I qualify.
Every morning in Payne's Pub, you'll find complimentary coffee for the members. If you haven't used that, use that service. And also you can get breakfast sandwiches, other things before you start your activity for the day. The old Fairway Room, how many people remember Sunday brunch? This is where you ate Sunday brunch. And as we look at that room, a little different view. And now we have different things that have come from that. We have Laddie's Court, our primary restaurant for the members, and then a different view. We have the old veranda dining with the limited access, if you will, to the outside world of the course. And now you can take a look at some of the new dining that we have on the veranda, and the tremendous openness that's with the new remodeling and design. Again, another look at it. The main dining room that we had previously for our functions. And then if we look at the outlook room as a setup that we have to host new functions. But notice all of the windows and they're looking to the outside and the view that people that are using that room have.
Very nice.
An added area, I think largely using the old bar area, is now the two-view ballroom for smaller groups, meetings, things of that nature. We have remodeled the Chapman boardroom. There's a take a look at it right up here on the main level. And a new number 7 dining room. And notice how the thing has been reconfigured with this presentation. Along with that, some of the resources in the bar and our great chief in charge at the bar out there. Then with the addition this past year, we have the Cornerstone Cafe on the lower level. Provides dining over at number 9. And with that, just an example of additional activities that have been brought to the club. We have many activities taking place already at Course 9 and things that members are welcome to engage in. Other things that have been added, we have a members-only shop that can get member logo with the Laddie, the insignia there for our new members only. We have that separate shop we didn't have. And here's a look at the inside of some of the things that are available and things that we'd like to build and grow upon with this service to members. Along with that, Club has a new logo. You can see the old logo on the side. Many of you probably if you were given a chance, would have trouble picking that logo out of a group of 3. But I think clearly with the new logo, you see that anywhere, you'll know that that's the logo of Pinehurst Country Club. In terms of programming, just a quick look there. Probably the